Welcome back to our podcast following the creation of the shows for Festival of Short Plays 50/50 in 2020. Today we will be following the making and challenges of the second play in our festival, The Hour, by Susan Goodall. The Hour follows a young man who simply ends up in the wrong place at the wrong time because of unfortunate word choice and the fact that he forgets to set his watch to account for daylight savings time. Some of you may have heard that daylight savings time was invented by our good friend, Benjamin Franklin. While he did suggest some things that may have led to the idea, he did not strictly invent it. He merely suggested to Parisians during his time as an envoy in France, which lasted from 1776 to 1785, that one should rise earlier to use the daylight for their work, instead of wasting money on candles by working till later in the day. In 1895, George Hudson proposed the idea of daylight savings time. The German Empire and Austria-Hungary were the first places to implement the practice, though it is more commonly known through the United States' use today. Most states use this practice, but the rule is not hard and fast, so the states of Arizona and Hawaii do not follow it. Since you've heard a little background about the play, we will be moving on to a short question and answer with the designers. We have Stacy Olson, who is the set designer, Cassie Sand, who is the costume designer, and Katrina Seek, who is the lighting designer. I'll start with Stacy. This is a question from Rick Getz. How did information from the directors influence your design? Were there cases of things that are in the script but not needed for this production?
So initially I thought that the set for The Hour would be the interrogation room with the bar setting from the flashbacks that they're talking about in the interrogation. But Dallas and I talked about, and we also brought it up in a couple of production meetings, the necessity to have that other physical place for the flashbacks to take place in. And after thinking about the blocking and how it might be kind of awkward for the actors to move around the space, we ended up just going with the interrogation room set. And then the lighting and the blocking would influence this is a flashback now, instead of them moving to a different physical space.
Thank you. Cassie, this is from Mimi Kammer. So for Daryl, is there room here, and would it be a valid choice to experiment with or explore the nature of types or stereotypes? For instance, will you have any shared pieces of costuming between the cop and the bad guy, or will everything be different?
So I think that since we're interpreting the play as a comedy, it kind of lends itself more towards those stereotypes. I wanted to make sure that the audience could fully understand what the characters are playing and when, and the actors would be shifting from character to character by layering on different pieces. So for example, for the cop to shift into the bad guy, he would throw on a sweatshirt over his plaid shirt and badge and put on his weird hat. His bottom half would stay the same, though. In our case, I don't think it would be valid to experiment with different stereotypes because it would interfere with the audience's understanding. But I think if the director had more time to work with the actors by distinguishing the characters through different acting choices, then perhaps there would be no need to have costume switches between the characters.
Wonderful. And Katrina, would you have used lighting at all to show when people change character to help emphasize that change along with the costumes?
Yeah, so I think the lighting would have helped with that. So in the interrogation room, it would have been the stark white, very, very much no color lighting. And then as we switched to the bar, it would go to a dimmer, more reds and blues and smoky bar feeling. So I think that would have helped show the change and that these people are not the same people.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. Before we hear the reading from the play, we're going to quickly chat with our director, Dallas Williams. Hi, Dallas.
Hi, Zoe.
So to me, at least, when I was reading the script for The Hour, I was a bit confused about what was happening in the show. How were you going to use staging to help the audience understand what was going on?
I think the biggest advantage I had in my court to help the story come across was actually all of the design elements. I think lights especially would be very telling when it comes to differentiating when we were in the interrogation room versus when we were flashing back to Dexter's arrest, which happened repeatedly throughout the story. Also, I think this is one of those shows that isn't really meant to be fully understood until the punchline comes near the end. There's always this air of mystery around, like the characters are all talking about this one thing, but they don't actually say what it is until the very end. I think it benefits the story to have the audience as in the dark as Dexter is until the end. I think it adds to the humor of the show. That being said, I think we had a great advantage when it comes to our set and our audience arrangement that gave us tons of advantages when it comes to entrances. Since Amber/Jade/Crystal is the only one that comes and goes, I think we could easily distinguish when they're entering the bar, say from the audience bomb, and when they enter the interrogation room using the triangles. This is very clearly distinct between present and past situations.
Great. And how was it directing a reading instead of directing a full play?
I think the most challenging change to a reading has definitely been questioning my place in rehearsals. Aside from organizing meeting times and saying, start here, read this, stop there, it's difficult to really give much direction. Obviously, voice work is its own craft and one that I'm not as familiar with, but it really helped me explore new ways of directing and discovering specifics. It gave me a fine eye for detail since I was only really focusing on one aspect of the production, vocal delivery. I still would make points about, your character's packing up or moving at this point to help influence how they might deliver their lines, but at the end of the day, the sole focus is just the voice. Also, it's a lot more difficult for me to get really excited about these rehearsals. I think being in the space and physically seeing things play out and seeing actors make discoveries about their characters is one of the best parts of directing, and we don't really get to see that for this project, which makes me very sad and also hurt my motivation a bit.
Now we will have a reading from The Hour, directed by Dallas Williams. Dexter will be played by Garrett Livingston, Daryl will be played by Jack Strube, and Crystal will be played by Miles Leonard.
You are not a careful man, Dexter. I don't know how you slipped away until now.
I have no idea what you're saying, but do I need a lawyer?
Well, you want a lawyer?
Can I ask for one?
Don't you watch television? Of course.
Oh no. She looks just like... You're Amber. Jade.
Crystal.
You look just like...
Maybe you know my sister, Opal?
Maybe you shouldn't be my lawyer. You look too much like the woman who took my money.
Are you arguing with me?
Oh, no. I won't argue. I'm desperate. I'll treat you pleasant, treat you rough, anything. Be my lawyer, please. Ask him. Why won't he stop asking me these crazy questions?
That's easy, because you're not easy to break.
Talk to him. What's going on?
Look, I'm just a lawyer. I don't undo lives for people who mess them up.
You're a big help.
Oh, he's close to a total breakdown. This will be good. Come on. Oh, I love this part when the guy enters. Dexter, tell us about your arrest again.
Right. The guy entered, okay? So I'll tell the guy who sat at my table, after missing the bazooka and the jack, I'll take his assortment, and you know this part.
Oh, I love the way you tell it.
Then you appear and say, you're coming with me.
Oh, completely accurate. You're coming with me.
You just say out loud that you'll buy an assortment? Stupid. See you in 15 years.
Is that bad? How bad is it?
Look, repeat the story. You're so inept now even I want to help you.
Inept at what? Okay, today is Sunday, March 13th. You know this, and as I told you, I'm about to enter.
About to meet Jade, whom you guessed by now was a close associate with the man with the hat. What time again?
I remember now. I did check my wristwatch. It was exactly 12:15 p.m. when I was about to meet Amber.
Jade, and it was 1:15 p.m., daylight saving time.
I have a new watch, and it was 12:15 precisely.
Stop. Right there. Officer, did you hear that?
Curious. Dexter, repeat your chronology. Amber, 12:15.
Exactly. For a bazooka and a crackerjack.
Crackerjack. That's what they call illegal weapons these days?
That's what they also call baseball cards. Crackerjack and bazooka gum. Amber promised to sell me 2 rare baseball cards, a bazooka.
No. He is pretending to buy baseball cards, but smuggling weapons, exotic animals, and bootleg mushrooms. This arrest clears half the unsolved cases in Slippery Rock.
I didn't need to pretend to buy baseball cards because I was buying baseball.
But he said...
but not from Jade, from Amber.
First day, daylight savings, curious. Oh no, what if Dexter had been caught?
But so much evidence.
Recheck your timeline.
We spot subject. Sunday, first day, daylight savings. Oh no. Oh no, damn it, he was caught.
Damn it, caught what?
Caught in the hour.
Oh God, no, don't tell me. Oh, damn it, Dexter, you went and blew everything. Had to get caught in the hour, didn't you?
Tell me, what's going on?
Another chump who forgot to spring.
How did we miss this with all the evidence right here?
I hate it. Failure to spring forward destroys months of...
An hour late, because you didn't reset your new watch. You sit down with
Jade, but my new watch.
Amber, whom we presume arrives approximately at 12:15, departing sometime later, furious, thinking she was stood up. We'll have her on surveillance.
So, Amber was there? Whatever it is, I didn't do it intentionally.
How did he let this happen?
Some men are...
They pretend time doesn't march forward.
They never want to get older and even want time to stand still.
You were caught not ready for a new season, weren't you, Dexter?
I was ready. Shiny new watch. Daylight savings. I always remember, but with the excitement of getting my hands on a bazooka and a jack, I forgot to reset my new watch. You can't arrest me for that, can you? Gee, looks like I caused trouble here.
You blew apart the precise sting 20 men in the department planned for months.
I didn't mean it. Why don't you just return to the tiki?
Too late. As you know, timing is everything.
I caused. I did. Oh, terrible. Look, I'll go home, reset the clocks, even change the battery in my smoke alarm.
No, that's when you fall back. Not as important.
No damage done when you arrive an hour early.
You're finally convinced I've done nothing wrong?
You were wrong, but not illegal. Completely out of step.
Disorganized, tardy, but within the law.
So, I'm free to go? Yippee! He's been starving me for hours. Talk about getting caught in the hour. I haven't had food since, well...
Unlucky bastard.
What a low-life creep. Damn it, he even got to sleep late.
Thank you for watching this episode following the play The Hour by Susan Goodell. Stay tuned later today to catch episodes on the other 3 plays, Rise, Super Hot Raven and Raven 2, The Ravening, and Well Done Poets. If you haven't already, have a look at our previous episode, In the Beginning. We hope that you have enjoyed yourself, and thank you for your support during this difficult time.